Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris is available in the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, and social media. It's now time for Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Sports Scene has excellent local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests. Greg had a chance to talk with nationally acclaimed sportscaster Ian Eagle. Now here's Greg with Ian.
And welcome to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube and all over social media. It's a pleasure to talk to Ian Eagle, who has been over the years the voice of the Nets, CBS Sports, college basketball, NFL. I even had a chance to work college football with him. Prime Network and so many different networks like Westwood One, has done tennis in the past for CBS. Ian, welcome.
Hey, Greg. Great to talk to you.
You too, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you and talk to you as well. Talk about, first of all, how's everything going for you as far as the weather? And, of course, it's a big deal for you because you might be in snowy tri-state area, but you've got to go no matter what.
Yeah, I've been doing this a while, 33 years of travel and play-by-play. And I think early in your career, you get nervous, you get edgy about the conditions and about whether or not your flight's going to get in, get out. I'm not telling you that feeling ever goes away, but I've learned how to diffuse it and get into a better, more serene mental state because some things are just out of my control. But you get savvy in making sure that you're covered, that if something goes sideways, that you have a second option, a third option, a fourth option. That's pretty much where I've been the last 10 years. And I would include this current winter, which has not been the easiest to navigate in that category. Just do your job, put your head down, and be malleable.
Yes, and those that know you and that have worked with you, we can see it in your eyes when you're in the tri-state area or in the Northeast, or in the case I saw you in Washington and Maryland in December and February. It just is a relief a little bit, too, because you're not that far from home.
Yeah, but ironically, I just had a Maryland game a few weeks ago.
Sure.
And what should have been a simple back and forth turned into a complete nightmare.
Wow.
6-hour delay. Didn't think the plane was going to go. You start now thinking about what are my options. I'm going to have to stay overnight in D.C. I had a game the next day. And sometimes what seems like very simple and easy turns into more intricate and challenging. So that's part of the mystery, certainly when it comes to travel. Don't assume that everything is going to work out. Just be ready in case it doesn't.
Yeah, you could easily work for the Weather Channel, that's for sure.
But I might do that in my spare time.
Exactly. All right, let's get right to it. You had a great game this past weekend with Kansas.
Yeah, Cincinnati came in and shocked the Jayhawks. Mm-hmm. If you look at Kansas under Bill Self, they have been so strong at home in general, but really strong against unranked opponents. It's rare that they have a slip-up, and what Cincinnati did was take over the game with about 6 minutes to go, manhandled them at times. Every loose ball went their way. Every hustle play went their way. And I do think it was a wake-up call for Kansas, and maybe, just maybe, they were overlooking Cincinnati with Houston coming to town after the weekend. That's neither here nor there. It's on your schedule. You're supposed to take care of business if you're a top 10, top 12 team, and they obviously bounced back against Houston. But they gave Cincinnati life. Mm-hmm. And now the Bearcats have got it rolling, and they're trying to make a case for an NCAA tournament bid by going on a ridiculous run in the Big 12. But that's part of college hoops and the fact that you're dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-olds. You just don't know. Mm-hmm. Game in and game out, what you're necessarily going to get. And the fact of the matter is it all leads up to March Madness, and that's part of the intrigue and the fun.
What's so great about you, I remember when you took over for the basically the Final Four, you just said really just a matter of 3 more games because you've been doing them forever anyway, and that's why people love you so much. You're just kind of unassuming. You do your job, and I learned from you too. You always say take command of the broadcast, and also with Noah, we grew up watching him at Ravens games, just osmosis. We all learn from osmosis.
Yeah, I remember I brought Noah to a Raven game.
Sure.
He was probably a teenager at the time.
Yep.
And the biggest question, Greg, because you've lived in that world, was whether or not they were going to let him into the press box.
Yeah.
Because of the way that the old setup was. The broadcast booth was connected to the press box. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to press boxes, you're supposed to be a member of the media. So there was always this very fine line of it's a guest of CBS, but are they a member of the working press? So it came down to the last minute, and finally the Ravens said, no, it's okay. He can stand next to you during the game. Mm-hmm. And he obviously got to experience what any aspiring broadcaster would like to experience, and that is being in the middle of it and learning it and observing it. I think he just had a clear picture of what this was all about when he was coming out of college, and had additional insight based on being around me for so many years and seeing how I prepare, seeing how I interact with people, and then literally seeing how you do it. Watching someone prepare for the open, make the transition from the open to turning around and calling the game, engaging your partner, creating chemistry. This is all something that he saw with his own two eyes and then applied it when he was given the chance to go out and do it himself.
Oh, has he applied it so well, folks? Just did the All-Star game, has done all types of broadcasts with NBC, with the Clippers. So he's really done very well radio and TV-wise, and he's growing day by day.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's obviously been wonderful for our family, and then for the father-son connection. We just have very high-level conversations about how to prepare, how to approach, and then how to actually go out and do it. And while our relationship is based on so much more than broadcasting and sports, it's been a really nice connective tissue for us. And I think that he really enjoys what he does, which for any parent, that's what you root for. You just want your child to be happy, and you want them to wake up every day motivated to be their best.
And you made a great point earlier, too, about these college kids, that are playing college basketball or college football. Yep. You never know where their head is. And a lot of times the fans don't realize when we're doing football, we're far away from the fans, or maybe not that far as they can shout out something. With college basketball, we're front and center. With the NBA, you're front and center a lot of times, too. And then you really have to, say what my grandmother did, 2 eyes in the front, 2 eyes in the back. You have to, be cognizant of the fans. But I always love it when the college kids come up to you and basically get an internship before the game starts.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. It is interesting as I look back on all these different venues.
Yeah.
Maryland, the one that I most recently saw you at,
sure,
is the one where the students are right there. Mm-hmm. There is no security. So they can come and go as they please, tap you on the shoulder. And over the last several years, anytime I've done a game at the University of Maryland, I will often engage with student broadcasters and then get emails afterwards following up, showing me examples of their work, asking for advice. And ultimately, that is a big part of this. You do have to pay it forward. It's important for the next generation to understand that broadcasters are people, they're normal human beings, and the goal is to learn and to try to get to that next level. And any way that it requires, you try to take advantage of what's available to you. So I understand it. I embrace it. There are moments, literally, Greg, where you probably saw, during game action, in a timeout, I'm getting tapped by someone saying, hey, is it okay if I grab your email address?
Yeah.
And that's just part of the deal. And I understand it. And I 100% back the young people that are trying to better their lives.
Absolutely. What a great sport you are. Let's get right to it. You got Duke, you got Arizona, you got Michigan, seem to be really the top teams in college basketball. It should be an exciting Final Four, but of course the road to the Final Four is always exciting.
It is. I think what we're starting to see, 2 years ago felt it, last year it was very much in this viewpoint and focus of the top teams getting to the mountaintop. Mm-hmm. I know March Madness is all about upsets and the chance that someone could be an underdog story. And I think that's always going to be a part of it. But whether or not a team can sustain it, like we've seen George Mason or VCU or Loyola Chicago, I don't know if if we're going to see a whole lot of that moving forward. You've got these teams that are using NIL money, and the numbers are very large to secure the best roster possible. And that's fine. That's part of the rules. That's part of the system that we're working under. But who it's affected most is probably the mid-majors, the ones that used to develop chemistry because they had a really good class that developed that common value of how to play. And over a 4-year period, they really knew how to be successful if you stand out in some way. Odds are after 1 year, or certainly after 2 years, somebody is going to grab you, and you're going to get the call up to a bigger conference.
Yeah, because in 2006, I went to George Mason. We made the Final Four. A few years later, I and VCU made it. But like you said, it's for them to get back there is going to be basically like winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. Now, you can catch lightning in a bottle.
Sure.
And a team, you get hot at the right moment, and you can catch somebody on the wrong day. St. Peter's comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
I had that St. Peter's, Kentucky first-round game, and Kentucky was stacked. And St. Peter's was not a team that had incredible chemistry based on all these years together. They just put together a nearly perfect game against Kentucky, and they won it in overtime. And then they kept winning, which was incredible, but I just don't know how common that's going to be in this current version of the tournament.
Absolutely. And, of course, it's always great to hear you with Raft, and see you together. And Raft's got great ties to the tri-state area. I always loved it when, he would tell stories when he was coaching, Seton Hall against Boeheim and so forth. But those stories, and as you know, they can last a lifetime.
Yeah, he's a treasure.
Yes.
Truly an American treasure. He has so much experience. He has so much love around the college basketball community. And he's just one of the best people you'll ever run into. So I've been incredibly fortunate to be by his side doing NBA starting in 1995. And then we started doing college basketball together in the late 90s. And obviously for the two of us to still be doing this, enjoying each other's company, and looking forward to this incredible festival that is March Madness, this has been the cherry on top for us.
Absolutely. And let's get right to the NBA, and then we'll let you go here. Of course, talk about you've always done it effortlessly, going to the streaming service as well. Great network voice on TV and radio for decades, worked at WFAN, Ian Eagle, joining us right here. But you look at the NBA, you see Detroit, Boston, and the Knicks. They're still all together. Then, of course, look at San Antonio, OKC, and Denver. They're always the teams. And the Lakers and Houston are hanging around. But you kind of wonder, LeBron is not a kid anymore. And for him to get that next championship almost seems to be like it's kind of in the rearview mirror now.
Yeah, Greg, I think the positive for the NBA is that it feels a little more wide open than it had in previous years.
Sure.
The negative is that you've got a big star in LeBron James who's going to go down as one of the great all-time competitors and athletes that we've ever seen. I don't think this current version of the team that he's on has the makings of a champion.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean moving forward? Does LeBron find a spot that is more set up for his skills and his current persona to try to end his career on one last high? That would be my gut instinct, that LeBron's not done after this season, that he wants to have a swan song that he feels comfortable in, and he also wants a puncher's chance to win a title.
Absolutely. All right, tell us your games you got coming up, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
Yeah, Houston, Orlando, NBA on Prime Video. That'll be Thursday night. And then Sunday, late afternoon, we've got Michigan State at Indiana, Big Ten action. They have a bunch of teams going to the NCAA tournament, and certainly curious to see how those two teams handle their business in late February, heading into the month that we all relish. March.
Oh, I love it. And, of course, you've got the Big Ten tournament leading into the NCAA tournament.
Yes, have that as well. That'll be with Bill Raftery, Grant Hill, Tracy Wolfson. So we'll have the whole team together in Chicago. And then we wait like everybody else the Selection Sunday program on that post-Big Ten tournament championship time slot that determines where we're going and where the teams are heading. And then the madness really begins from a play-by-play standpoint, because you got to actually go out and prepare for your 8 teams.
Yes.
So, and that's for everybody, not just me doing the games. That's for all the great play-by-play announcers on CBS and Turner that will be getting ready for the 2026 NCAA tournament.
And Ian's always organized and on top of things. Ian, all the best to you. Thank you for your time, talent, treasure. I've worked with you for over 2 decades in several different states. You're always fun to watch, work with, and enjoyable, and you really keep everything going. Let's not forget, too, Ian's father, folks, was in a lot of commercials when I was a kid, in the Xerox commercials.
Yeah, he did about 50 commercials, and it was part of his life that I think he was really proud of. And I was proud. Young kid, seeing my dad on TV and
sure,
putting smiles on people's faces. He was a stand-up comedian, so his experience and his personality extended well beyond TV, more on the stage. And he was a trumpet player. Started in big bands. I dropped out of high school at 16 years old to go travel around the country playing in big bands. So I had a very rich and interesting life that I ended up learning a great deal and took with me to the next stages of my life.
Very good. Ian, safe travels. All the best to your family and all your colleagues, and we will look forward to seeing you sometime, hopefully in March.
Yeah, ditto, Greg. Always great to talk to you.
My pleasure. Ian Eagle right there from CBS Sports and Prime. Stick around. Sports Scene will continue after these messages. Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris, 2026. Our wonderful sponsors as always. Mi Hogar in Norfolk, excellent place for Mexican cuisine, lunch, dinner, 7 days a week, celebrating great times, good food at Mi Hogar. Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News, your sports headquarters for all the sports on TV, delicious food, wings, burgers, and much more. Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News. Go by and see Jessica today. Aberdeen Barn Steakhouse in Virginia Beach, delicious steak, seafood, 7 days a week. And our good friends at Captain Groovy's in Norfolk at Shore Drive in Ocean View, delicious lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday.
Now let's get back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome to our segment right here on Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast, all over social media, including YouTube. It's a pleasure to talk to somebody I've known since the late 80s. Met him on the radio. He's been with us in the studio. We've interviewed him on radio and TV multiple times. Once again, let's welcome Jack Ankerson. Jack, how are you, my friend?
Doing fine, Greg. Great to be with you today.
Always a pleasure in this winter time that we're having. Jack is the jack of all sports. With his book, of course, he's had a great career in sports management, on-the-air sports, sales, marketing. Jack has done it all behind the scenes and on the air. So, Jack, first of all, before we talk about the book, you're the longtime public address announcer for the Old Dominion Monarchs, men and women. Your thoughts on the Monarchs season, both of them this year?
Well, with the men, it's been a kind of a total season of inconsistency. I mean, they play really well, and they build big leads, and then somehow they lose them, and the defense falls apart, and it's kind of frustrating. And I'm sure if your head coach, Mike Jones, frustration probably is the key word. It's just been that kind of a year. We're down to only 1 game left in the regular season before the Sun Belt Conference tournament begins next week, and so they're going to have a long road to hoe to do anything in the tournament because they're going to be seated very, very low.
There's going to be a lot of decisions to be made, too, with Old Dominion as Wood is stepping down throughout the course of the end of 2026, and of course, the coach of the basketball team is still fairly new. So whenever there's change, it's always in motion.
No question. So what's going to happen, don't know. Now, last year, we were kind of like a similar situation, and then they won their first 3 games in the conference tournament.
Sure.
But when you are a very low seed, to get to the semifinals or finals, you got to play a lot of basketball games in a tournament. And they did that last year, so we'll see what happens this year. But that's another week away, so we'll see. As far as the Old Dominion women are concerned, I mean, they're having not a bad year, but they're still down there 5th, 6th, somewhere in the Sun Belt Conference standings. So it's going to be difficult for them as well. And their situation is sort of like the men's. They really play well some nights. Inconsistency has been the operative word this year. So it's going to be difficult for them as well. And their situation is sort of like the men's. They really play well some nights. Inconsistency has been the operative word this year.
Absolutely. Talking to Jack Ankerson, and of course, just very erratic on both ends. It has affected attendance a little bit too, as well. As you know, Jack, you've been around teams your entire life. People want to see winners. It's always a great, in my opinion, quality of life to attend an Old Dominion basketball game. It's indoors. You get a chance to socialize with people, as opposed to football where weather can dictate how comfortable you are watching a 3 or 4 hour game. Basketball is very comfortable. There's, a few games in December, January, some in February, and even as early as November too. So, winning affects everything.
But I will say this, at the end of the year, the last 2 home games, the men were up right around 6,000. Mm-hmm. And Coach Mike Jones made special note. He said, we owe these folks more than what we're giving them. To get those kind of numbers showing up at the end of the year for a team with the record that Old Dominion has, it was very, very nice to see.
Yeah, I'd be remiss to say you also no longer, but you were a long time, for decades, public address announcer for the Norfolk Tides. And a lot of people are still scratching their head how it's going to work. We saw a blueprint last year with people having to park off property to go to a Tides game. Then you got the Tide itself. You got a casino in play here. So there are going to be people probably on game day saying, well, what do we want to do when it's 90 degrees outside? Go inside an air-conditioned casino or go outside into a Tides game, and you know that better than anybody.
Yeah, and they did a good job last year near the end of the year with the cooperation with the light rail and everything else. So they really played that up very well, and a lot of cooperation from a lot of people, but it still makes it difficult when you just think you can go drive down to the ballpark, find a parking spot at Harbor Park, and enjoy the baseball game. It can be difficult.
Absolutely. And, of course, the Tides play in the spring and the summer and September as well. Let's get right to the book, Jack. Of course, we've talked to you about it on TV and, of course, the podcast as well and other platforms. Talk about Jack of All Sports. It's moving right along.
Yes, it is. No question. And it's an idea that came about in a kind of a conversation over at a club that I belong to, and someone said, how come you don't write a book about everything you've done? This person looked me up, Googled me, and whatever. And so that started the process. It ended up with the book called Jack of All Sports, and we're very proud of it. Yes, it definitely still is for sale. We're doing very well with it, and people are still buying it. And it's available on Amazon.com. A simple matter of ordering it, $25 a copy, and it's big print, a lot of pictures, so it works out well.
And easy to order. And, of course, Jack is in the Hampton Roads Sports Hall of Fame, Hampton Roads Sports Media Hall of Fame as well this coming up summer. So, Jack, all the great success that you've had over the years. And, of course, you're not slowing down. You'll still be planning to do Old Dominion football, I guess, in the fall of 26.
Yeah, no question. And right now, not doing the baseball situation because I had a little bit of a health problem, and so I'm not swinging over to baseball yet. So that is on hold right now for the rest of this baseball season. But then we look forward to football and basketball next fall.
Absolutely. And, of course, you and your wife do enjoy some downtime as well, too, I'm sure.
No question about that.
Very good. Jack, I've known you forever, met you on the air, when you were doing the WTAR College Scoreboard Show. I was a young student at George Mason, having to go to the University of Maryland to do football updates on various platforms because George Mason did not have a football team, and they still don't. But anyway, it's all good. Jack, all the best.
That was before ESPN, Greg.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, ESPN TV started, I believe in 79. That was 88. But there was no ESPN radio. There was nothing. That was it.
That's correct. You wanted a football score, you had to call us.
Yes, and you had them from all over the country, too. That was a lot of fun.
It really was.
Yep. Jack Ankerson right there, a true treasure in Hampton Roads, a friend and a friend to the community as well. Jack, one last question I want to ask you. Your thoughts with Wood retiring. That search process is probably going to be starting soon.
I would think so. It is. They have retained a company to help them with the search. And I would think that they would receive a lot of interest because I think Old Dominion's athletic director's job would be one that someone would really like to have.
Yep.
There's just so many pluses about being here at Old Dominion. So I think they'll have a wonderful array of probably potential candidates.
Yep, great quality of life in Hampton Roads. Jack, continued health and success, and we will look forward to talking to you in the next few months.
Yes, thank you, Greg, very much.
My pleasure. Jack Ankerson, Jack of all sports, right here on Sports Scene. Bohemian Amigos Record Shop. Go by and see Eric and the wonderful staff right there in Hampton, 757-527-2191. Connect with them on Facebook and social media. Something for everyone. Everything vinyl records, merch. They have it all right there at Bohemian Amigos Record Shop. Great specialty events, concerts. Eric is the man. He knows it all. Very well tuned. He sponsors a lot of great events in the area. He's connected to the music scene. He's been in bands. Eric is the music source in Hampton Roads, and so is Bohemian Amigos Record Shop. CP Shuckers with 2 wonderful locations in Virginia Beach, lunch, dinner, late night. Go by and see Matt, Mark, and Chef Leon. Great food. Follow CP Shuckers on social media. 3 great, excellent choices for Asian cuisine in Hampton Roads, Mongolian Grill in Virginia Beach, as well as Oh Yummy on Great Neck Road, and Sakura in Chesapeake.
Catch the TV Sports Minute with Greg Bicouvaris on local TV and Greg's YouTube channel, Greg Bic. It's now time for What Tees Me Off, presented by Greg Bic on YouTube.
And what tees me off always from our good sponsors at HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, GJBTV.com, and HRSMHOF.com. Mike, of course, F-350s, they're so big. I get it. They got to haul things, but they are so annoying to look at.
They're annoying and also super loud, like through the tunnels or under overpasses, too. Just deafening.
And they block your view.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, 100%.
This never gets old. Public restrooms, I get it when you have to get in and out. But like you mentioned, a certain music venue on the south side during the hot, sticky summer, that is the worst.
I'd rather find a tree somewhere, rather than get into the walls with all of those people crawling in.
Having to hear people's phone conversations, not outside, but when you're in the building or in an office and you can't leave because you're waiting for the same thing they are.
I know, and both ends of it too, because they'll have it on speaker and you hear their end, and now you feel like you're in it too.
Like we don't exist.
Right.
And they're having deep conversations.
At a certain point, I'm going to jump in.
And that's what tees me off. And welcome back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. And it is indeed a pleasure to be right here in the studio talking about the upcoming fight on April 4th at Chartway Arena. We have with us Emmanuel Morales, Kelvin Davis, Keon Davis, as well, of course, the brothers of Keyshawn Davis. And gentlemen, always great to see you guys.
Great to see you, man. Nice to meet you, man.
Thank you. My pleasure. Manny, of course, this is family, friends here, and, of course, it's great to see the brothers here in the studio today talking about the upcoming fight.
Yeah, man, it's going to be very exciting. April 4th at Chartway Arena. We're bringing an event to the city that has never been done before under DB3 Promotions. This is the promotional company of the brothers Kelvin, Keon, and Keyshawn. And it's the first professional boxing event being hosted at Chartway Arena.
Absolutely. And, of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. Talk about quality of life. People want things to do, positive things in the community, and the Davis brothers are exactly doing that thing. I know you're excited about April 4th.
Yes, sir. This is Kelvin. I'm definitely excited. This is my first main event. And then to be under our own promotional company is just a blessing, honestly. Then to do it in Norfolk, where we from, it's just going to be amazing. And I'm excited. Got my opponent. We in training camp. I'm ready to go, man. So April 4th is definitely going to be one to remember, man. Like I said, it's my first main event, so I got to show out.
Yeah, and Keon, of course, they call him the Juice Man. Kelvin is Night. And, of course, it's going to be 6 great fights. And, of course, you're looking forward to being there with your brother as well.
For sure. Of course, I'm going to be there with him. I'm going to be the second to last fight. I'm going to be the co-main event. So I'm going to go out there and perform. Kelvin going to finish the night off with the cherry on top.
You talk about the conditioning that you have to do, Kelvin. It's watch what you eat, watch what you put in your body, the proper rest you get at night, saying goodbye to nightlife for a while. You have to pretty much just take care of yourself.
Most definitely, man. Training camp consists of 6 to 8 weeks of just eat, sleep, and train, repeat. Eat, sleep, train, repeat. So, yeah, it's a sacrifice that you have to make, but it's mental, and we got to get it done because this is what we chose to sign up for. So it's almost like I've been professional since 2020. So I'm 6 years in now, so it's kind of almost getting the norm to me.
Yeah.
Jumping into training camp. It's just what we got to do and what we got to get done. So, I mean, like right now, we do have like interviews and stuff like that to build the fight up. But for the most part, man, right when we leave here, I'm going to train for sure.
Exactly. And let me ask you too, Keon, before we talk about your style of boxing, what foods or beverages do you stay away from prior to a fight?
Soda, fried foods, a lot of greasy stuff. I stay away from, everything unhealthy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about it. A lot of you guys went to Granby High School, West Potomac as well. Talk about your brother. What type of style does he box? Then talk about your style.
I have more of I feel like a boxing fighting style. Sit back on the outside, use my reach because I'm 6'1". So a lot of these fighters are not taller than me. It's rare that I fight somebody my size. Usually a lot of guys are shorter than me. So I got more of a boxing style, but I can fight too in times of need. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like me and Keon have kind of like a similar style, but he's still different in his own way. And then Keyshawn is like, he don't have the stature that we have. Like, he don't have the build that we have because me and my Keon are taller. So Keyshawn is on the shorter end so he can't have kind of like the same style we have. He has to create a whole different style for himself. But Keyshawn is definitely a fighter. I feel like me and Keon are boxer fighters, and Keyshawn is a fighter boxer, if that makes sense.
I feel like I'm a pressure fighter until I need to be smart and box on my back foot. I also feel like I can do a lot of things in the ring. I could be aggressive. I could be a boxer. I can be the Lomachenko angles and stuff like that. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old, and I really feel like I can do everything in the ring. As far as being aggressive, as far as being patient, as far as just being the outside long boxer, but I can fight on the inside too as well. So as far as my style, I bring a lot to the table, and every time I fight, it's going to be a better outcome and a different outcome too. You're going to see something different every time because I can do everything in the ring.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, talking to the Davis brothers, of course, there's also Keyshawn. We got Kelvin and Keon here right with us. And one thing I want to ask you too, Kelvin, a lot of times it's your eyes too. You can out-slick your opponent by, you see in basketball, maybe a no-look pass. You never know when you can get that jab in and catching your opponent off guard.
For sure. I mean, like Keon said, we've been boxing for a long time, so it's kind of like an all-around game. But yeah, eyes do play a factor in the ring because I can do a look-away punch. You know what I'm saying? I can look at the body and punch the head, look at the head and punch the body. So like you said, basketball, no-look passes, it all like correlates, you know what I'm saying? But in the ring, you can take what the opponent gives you, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to overreact to anything, you know what I'm saying? If you doing what you're doing in the ring, you don't want to stop doing it. You want to just keep building off of what you're doing. So it all comes down to fight night when that bell ring and that opponent comes out. I ain't gonna say what he gives you because you always want to do what you do at the end of the day. But like I said, you don't want to overreact to something that you don't really have to.
Yeah, you're thinking in the moment. And that's one thing too as well, Keon. You have to be physically and mentally fit, be prepared for anything.
Yeah, for sure. In boxing, you're in there fighting. You're in there taking punches to the face, to the body. So you got to be in tip-top shape, you know what I'm saying? Your ab game got to be right, you know what I'm saying? You got to be strong in there. You got to be mentally prepared for the most part. You know what I'm saying? If you're not mentally prepared, then you already lost before you get in there. So boxing is like really the most brutal sports, man, and you definitely got to be 100% prepared going into that ring.
Yeah, because a lot of them aren't going to let you peek their whole card. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have things for you that you haven't seen, so you got to be prepared for any type of jab.
For sure, man. Even guys when they're left-handed or right-handed, like you just got to be prepared for different angles of how they punching too. You know what I'm saying? Because a jab can come from a different angle versus like their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're right-handed or left-handed. You know what I'm saying? But we've been boxing for a long time, man, so we almost kind of prepare for anything somebody throws at us. We've seen all different types of styles. We done been in the ring with a lot of great fighters, you know what I'm saying? A lot of world champions that are world champions now today, you know what I'm saying? Then my little brother been fighting across the world in the Olympics and stuff like that. So I done seen a lot of styles. I done been in the ring with a lot of great fighters, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing that I feel like these other guys can throw at me that I haven't seen before.
And this is going to be a huge event. This is going to be Easter weekend, April 4th. This is a Showcase Hampton Roads event. Emmanuel Morales is a big part of that. Talk about some of the behind the scenes as you get ready for April 4th.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. Honestly, I feel like I'm preparing to get in there and throw down. But it's been good, man. Working along the brothers, just putting everything together, all the behind the scenes, pretty much everything, So it's been good, man.
Absolutely. And, of course, who have you guys looked up to? Of course, you mentioned your brother, too, but you've seen different boxers in all different classes. You can learn from the heavyweights, the lightweights, So I want to get your opinions. Who have you looked up to, and who do you still watch occasionally on YouTube to get pointers from?
When I was coming up in the boxing game, I used to look up to guys like Adrian Broner and Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I like Sugar Ray too. Those are the guys who I used to watch when I was coming up. But looking up, as far as looking up to in the game when I was younger, it was definitely Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner. He was my favorite fighter, I would say. But nowadays I watch Shakur Stevenson, I watch Terrence Crawford. Of course I watch my little brother Keon Davis. But those kind of guys I try to actually watch and study, because Usyk too, he heavyweight guy. But they got real boxing skills, and you can sit down and watch and learn a couple things from them instead of watching other guys I don't want to mention no names, but other fighters where you just watching the fight and you just seeing a brawl or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not really boxing. You know what I'm saying? So guys like Usyk, Terrence Crawford, and Shakur, they display a talent level, a skill level that I can learn from.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I look up to Adrian Broner, Floyd Mayweather, but I really did like Pernell Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? Not just because he from our city, but just how he was able to, how comfortable he was in the ring, and he was making people miss, having fun, doing little dances and punching people back. You know what I'm saying? So I like how he entertained the crowd as well. So I really did look up to Pernell a lot, and I used to watch a lot of greats too, like Ali and stuff like that. Until Kelvin said, now I watch a lot of modern day guys because boxing have changed a lot. So, but yeah, growing up, it was definitely Pernell. You know what I'm saying? He was my favorite fighter for sure.
Yeah, and Sweet Pete did fight a lot in Norfolk and Hampton, and also Larry Holmes even fought here way back in the early 2000s against Butterbean. So a lot of great boxers have boxed here. What do y'all think about mixed martial arts? And because it seems like boxing purists just love boxing, while the other stuff, is an outlier.
For me, I'm not a fan of MMA. It's too brutal. I don't think I ever get in the cage. Honestly, yeah. It's crazy because my kid wants to do it, and I'm not telling him he can't do it because I don't want to say I don't want to diminish anything he trying to put his mind to, but I definitely be on the stray away end. I would say nah, man, you don't need to do that, or just try to get him in another sport because it's brutal, man. I done seen guys attack on the offensive end and get hurt. I seen somebody do a leg kick and break their own leg. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know. I'm not a real fan. I mean, I can watch it. I support the sport, but for me to actually get in the cage, I'm never getting in the cage.
Man, I think they need to throw that sport in the trash, for real. So now, but MMA cool, man. It's too brutal, man. Elbows, knees, and kicks to the head. That's crazy to me. I feel like a punch alone in boxing is crazy enough. You get what I'm saying? So people getting elbow and kicked in the head, I feel like, what kind of sport is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a boxing purist. Grew up watching Mike Tyson, met Mike Tyson, love Larry Holmes. I mean, I love lightweight, middleweight, Sweet Pea, everything. But once again, April 4th, that is the date to remember. You ought to be proud of yourself. A big-time event in Hampton Roads. We don't have that many, and this is going to be a showcase event catering to young and old, sports fans and non-sports fans.
Yeah, man, for real. It's this event is for everybody. It's for everybody in the 757, and in the surrounding cities as well. April 4th, you guys better get your tickets. They're selling out fast. Don't forget, 757 Knockout Night. It's going to be a great event. Headlining Kelvin Davis, co-main Keon Davis. Get your tickets. We'll see you there.
Yes, sir. And then we also got special guests arriving. You know what I'm saying? Performing artists, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be more than it's a boxing event, but we got artists coming to you know what I'm saying, show their face too. So that's something that the fans in Norfolk can look forward to.
And bring the kids, man. Bring the kids. DB3, we love the kids, man. We always showing love to the community, and the first thing we do is tap into the kids. So all the parents, just bring the kids out so they can see what they can probably be in the future. You know what I'm saying? You never know. We might have a next great world champion coming up right after us, just off the strength of us watching us fight in the ring on April 4th. So they might get inspired and want to do the same thing. So bring the kids, show them that there's opportunity out here in this area, and show them that we doing something different, and we're gonna show them that we doing something different, and they can do the same thing.
For sure, definitely bring the kids, man. This is a family event. You know what I'm saying? I can bring y'all families, man. Like, bring everybody, man. Everybody gonna have fun, from the old to the young. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's like, shout out to Pernell and the family. But when I was a kid, Pernell was already finished. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have nobody to look up and go to the fights and watch fight. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like now that we doing it, we like take advantage. Everybody who listening, just take advantage of the opportunity that we got professional boxers right here in the area that's doing it in modern day time. You know what I'm saying? Then we trying to lessen the gap between us and Pernell. You know what I'm saying? Between us and Pernell was 10, 15, 20 years plus. You know what I'm saying? We won a world champion. We need a new boxer. We need more DB3 people, DB3-like people coming right after us, a year or 2, 5 years at the most. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no wide gap because there's talent here in the city. It's just nobody gets the reach or the outlook or the notoriety.
I want to ask you before, too, you mentioned music stars. Walk-up music is always fun at boxing events. You know, what's your favorite type of walk-up music, first for you, then for your brother?
For me, this Kelvin, walkout music, it just depends on, at the time, on what I'm inspired by. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the occasion, too, and who I'm fighting. So I don't really get my walkout song until, like, I'm almost fight time.
Really?
And yeah, until it's almost fight time, and because I get in different modes. Like, right now, we kind of like 6 weeks out, right? But in 2 weeks before the fight, I'm going to be in a different headspace, for sure. So
fighting headspace.
Yeah, fighting headspace. Because as a fighter, you gotta. It's mental. It's a mental game. You gotta lock in 100%. So like us being out so far right now, I'm not gonna be in the same headspace when we get closer to the fight. Closer to the fight, you get meaner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the walkout music definitely goes off my mood, honestly.
You got to avoid any distractions before the fight. I mean, you know, when you go to a business or a restaurant and you get held up in line and you get distracted by a customer, all that stuff goes by the wayside. Just the minutia of life. You don't want that to affect your day in the ring.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, you know, I just take it all in. You know what I'm saying? When I see fans and stuff like that, that's supporters, and I just take it all in. You know, I don't let it knock me off my game, or you know what I'm saying, distract me. You know what I'm saying? We've been here for a little minute now, so we are comfortable to the outside world and still trying to balance our boxing world too. So
yeah,
April 4th, man, gonna be one to remember. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be our first DB3 promotions event. You know what I'm saying? And this gonna be the first boxers ever doing this in history. Mm-hmm. So this is history making. You know what I'm saying? Their own. We're boxers fighting on our own promotion company, putting everything together, wearing our promoter's manager hat and fighter hat at the same time, on top of living our personal lives. So
I'm impressed how organized you guys are, and give a shout out to your brother Keon too. What do you think his next move is going to be in the 757, or will it be down the road?
His next move gonna be big. You know, it's gonna be real soon as well too. He gonna be fighting again soon. It's not gonna be in the city, his next one, but his next move is big for sure. He gonna be fighting again soon, right after ours. So yeah, DB3 working.
Very good.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he do plan on sometime in the future bringing it back to the 757 for sure, because it's our home base. We got to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the near future, for sure, he's gonna bring it back. But for right now, DB3 Promotions, we hitting the ground running. After this April 4th card, I don't want to jump the horse before the cart, or you know what I'm saying. But we plan on setting up another DB3 promotion fight sometimes in the summertime, right after
for sure,
right after April 4th. You know what I'm saying. But let's get April 4th down first. Everybody come out, show up. I'm fighting a very poised opponent. He's been in the ring with guys like Adrian Broner, Jose Zapita, just a lot of world champions. I just can't think of off the top of my head, but he's a definitely known guy, and I plan on picking him apart April 4th, get that knockout victory, and put my name back in the map. You
got to have that mentality. Of course, Kelvin Davis, Keon Davis, of course, the brother of Keyshawn Davis, and we got Emmanuel Morales. Thank you guys for your time, your talent, and your treasure. Even got your daughter, Alora, here. Everybody's in the house. And, of course, folks, you got to promote it in the 757. These gentlemen have sacrificed to make you have a night to remember on April 4th. We want to see everybody out there. Emmanuel, leave us with a parting shot.
Yes, you can get your tickets at chartwayarena.com. They're selling out fast. Make sure to be there April 4th, 757 Knockout Night, DB3 Promotions.
Yes, sir.
Very good. You heard it right here on the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast, YouTube. Everything streams in 2026. And you're going to be seeing some great streaming by Kelvin and Keon on April the 4th. Stay tuned. I want to thank our good friends at Sandbar and Midtown Eats. Go by and see Gary and the wonderful staff. Great place for Sandbar is lunch, dinner, late night. Watch the games on TV at Sandbar. Midtown Eats is a family restaurant connected to Sandbar on J. Clyde Morris Boulevard in Newport News. Open daily. Raising Cane's in Yorktown, a delicious place for a great meal, lunch, dinner, late night. Go by and see Paul and the friendly staff. Chicken fingers, fries, coleslaw, beverages is at Raising Cane's. Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Go by and see Mike and the friendly staff for lunch and dinner 7 nights a week. Special occasions, parties, steaks, burgers, seafood. It's at Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Follow them on social media.
Now let's get back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Always a pleasure to talk to one of our showcase guests, George McClain, the owner of the Marksman in Newport News. George, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Greg. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. For several years over at 520 Industrial Park Drive in Newport News. As we get into late February, early March, what's coming up in the spring?
Well, hopefully we're going to make some sense out of some of these gun laws that's being changed, and that's going to kind of direct what we do as far as inventory and classes. So it's kind of a wait and see right now.
Very good. How has the weather affected anything as far as walk-ins? Are there more people trying to do things over the phone or online, because you are having a nice website as well?
Well, we haven't seen a whole lot of change. When we really got a lot of snow and ice, obviously we shut down early, and I think one day we didn't even open because the roads are so bad. But when we're open, traffic is about the same. Phone call load is about the same. So I haven't seen a whole lot of changes.
Very good, very good. There's always people that want to buy firearms, but also accessories as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's when you have the firearms, especially if you come to the range on a regular basis, you find out the things that you might want to have. Makes it a little bit easier to carry, where you want to experiment with different holsters. Obviously targets, we have targets for the range, but if people are shooting on their own property, they'll come in and buy targets, cleaning kits for the firearms, pretty much anything you need, we have in stock.
Talking to George McClain, the owner of the Marksman, Greg Bicouvaris. This is Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube and social media. And as far as the range is concerned, it's always good to get practice too, and get the right supervision in class if you can as well. Well,
very true. We've had several folks have texted or emailed us and inquiring about acquiring firearms, new ones that they hadn't bought one for a while, or they shot in the military, and now all of a sudden they feel like they want to have one in the home, but they're not quite sure what brand or what caliber. So we tell us folks, come in, because we have upwards of about 20 firearms that you can rent. It may not be the identical one that you want to purchase or interested in purchase, but the caliber and the make is probably the same, to where you could try it out and see if it's going to fit your hand, if the recoil is something that you can handle. So we want you to be satisfied and comfortable in the firearm that you purchase, because if you're not comfortable shooting it, you're not going to practice, which means you're not going to stay current.
And practice does make perfect. There are a lot of different gun clubs around the United States as well. They do help, but you can do everything you can right there at the Marksman. They got great training, decades of experience. George is the owner. You got Sherry. You got so many people on their staff. Over the years, you've dealt with BJ too, and the public has really gotten accustomed to that comfort feeling when they walk in the door and see those familiar faces.
Well, I mean, we mostly family working there. We like to treat everyone like family. Of course, that's a two-way street. Some folks want to come in with a chip on their shoulder for some reason, and you just try to treat everybody the way we want to be treated. The old golden rule, and it's kind of worked for us for a long time. We'll stay with it, and try to make you feel comfortable. And like you walk in and everybody knows your name. That's kind of the atmosphere we want.
Do you recommend young kids getting involved with BB guns at a young age to get some practice, or even adults too, before they handle a bigger gun or accessory?
Well, certainly young kids, they can get with their parents, and you don't have to be at a shooting range to do that. But if the parent is comfortable giving proper instruction, there's nothing wrong with that at home. If you have a place outside that's you're able to accommodate that. Otherwise, yes, you can come in on the range. If that's what you want to shoot, a pellet gun or a BB gun, doesn't have to be a actual firearm, and we would allow you to shoot that on the range. And again, to get instruction, but we have instructors available, but you have to schedule that ahead of time. It's seldom that you'll be able just to walk in and get some. Occasionally you might, but I would call ahead of time on that.
Yeah, 520 Industrial Park Drive in Newport News. The phone number is 757-872-4130. George, the hours are still Monday through Saturday?
Yes. Yeah, no changes there.
And the Facebook page, of course, you can Google the Marksman, see their website, but like George always says, Facebook changes things as well. Something new, something old, there's something for everyone there. Great accessories, great gifts. They even have drinks and snacks. You try to make it very comfortable, like we said early on, but it's always intriguing, some of the questions your staff gets asked, some of the people walking in the door. You have to be ready at any time.
Well, true. I mean, that can go both ways. Yeah, you have to be ready for the very unexpected, bad situations that might come in, and also expect what regular customers, what they are interested in, the kind of questions that they would have if they're newbies, versus someone that's been there, on a regular basis.
And people have to be buttoned up during the winter because, we're still going to be having spring forward in March. When it gets dark early, you got to be cognizant of your home as well. I always talk about home, road, and business. One of my neighbors forwarded me some Ring doorbell stuff at 11:30 at night, and you never know what's crawling out there. Not just fox and raccoons.
Yeah, no, all kinds of stuff. I got Ring as well at my home, and it's very convenient. So you can kind of take a look at things even when you're not there.
Yep, very good. George, leave us with a parting shot.
Well, we got about another week or 10 days or so before time changes. We were just talking about getting dark early. Well, now it's going to be getting dark a little bit later with the daylight savings time coming in. So just be aware of all the changes and be safe, be familiar and current with your firearm if you're going to be carrying it. The biggest thing is keeping an eye on the legislative changes for the state of Virginia. It's going to change almost everything that we're been accustomed to for the last several years as far as concealed carry. So just stay on top of it. We're going to try to keep everybody up to date as we can, but we don't know really how all this stuff's going to shake down until the governor signs or not. And we think that anything that's going to restrict firearms, she will sign. So everyone just needs to stay on top of that.
I also think sales will go well because of her as well, so it can work both ways. But George, all the best to you and your staff, and for your time, your talent, and your treasure, for enlightening us, and we look forward to talking when the weather is better.
All right. Well, Greg, you guys take care.
Thank you. George McClain, we'll talk to you soon. I want to thank our guests today on Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris, our February edition. I want to thank Ian Eagle, Jack Ankerson, the Davis brothers, and George McClain. For more, log on to gjbtv.com. For Mike Alexander, I'm Greg Bicouvaris, Greg Bic on YouTube. That's GREGBIC. Subscribe and like. We'll talk to you soon.